Oh, man. Oh, well. Yeah, because... Oh! You guys are mean. Okay, so, here we are again, another episode of the Whole Game Crit podcast. In the room today is my manager of accounting, Will. He is on the call today.
Wait, why am I the manager of accounting? I thought I was the editor.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay, so apparently I'm the manager in accounting. I suck at math, and I'm not good with money, so we're going to fail.
How much money have we made on this podcast so far, Will?
I don't know, is there a negative of 0?
Will, I think
That
David
one.
has just confirmed that you're going to be fired from your financial responsibilities.
Yeah, I didn't even know I had them, so... Okay.
And also our master of the long-term plan, Matthias, he is on the call today.
Long-term planning? So
Long-term
do we have
planning.
someone doing short-term planning as well, or...?
No.
Oh, we're a depressing
Yes.
bunch.
I think that's an oversight that should be addressed by the long-term planning committee. So, do you think we're good for the long term, Matthias?
Sure.
That's what I like hearing from the long-term committee. And also on the call today is our master of the best decisions, David Phillips. He's on the call today.
Oh, that is a bad thing. I make no good decisions. All my decisions are bad. I can go to the grocery store and be at the meat counter, and I'll make a bad decision.
Now, I must
Are we
clarify.
supposed to all be grossly underqualified?
The reason why I brought this up, and obviously I'm not with you on any of this, but by the way, I'm the host. I'm at Whole Game Crit. The reason why I gave them all these magical and wonderful titles today is because these are the three main things that apparently Ubisoft believes they have got down to a science. That they have nailed this shit. That they got this so fucking set up and down on the lock that they have the balls to announce that Ubisoft is creating a theme park.
What?
Well, this is a good decision.
What?
They're making a theme park.
There's so many ways that could have gone.
Ubisoft
But
theme
nothing
park
could have prepared me for that.
will open in 2020. In other news, Ubisoft is of the opinion that they're not going to go bankrupt in the next 5 years.
Why make a theme park? They're not Disneyland. You know, okay, I'm going to bring this up because it's sort of relevant, because we're talking about theme parks. Surabura in Japan made a theme park based off of their main hero, Ultraman, and it just closed down like 5 years ago.
That's exactly
It
what
was
I feel
open.
is going to happen here.
But the problem is, Ultraman is basically like Godzilla in Japan. He's a staple. So the fact that it was open for like 20 or so years was amazing. Ubisoft has what character that I'm going to remember from their games, besides those fucking rabbits?
That's,
And
probably.
even then, if I go to that park and those
It's
things...
not. There's. I need
punch
to
them.
clarify. Right now, according to paper, it probably is not going to have much of anything. I mean, we did cover this on the podcast once a long time ago, but they have set up an award-winning roller coaster at the French park Futurescope, and that was a Rabbids roller coaster. This roller coaster is not going to be at this theme park, most likely.
Okay,
It looks
fine.
like it is going to be entirely of their modern, newer brands. So we're probably going to see things
Oh, great.
like
So we
the
have
Ezio Experience and the Eagle Vision Spot
Watch
the
Dogs.
Villain games and
the Watchdog hack game. Unfortunately,
yeah,
that's-
Watch
that
Dogs. Yeah,
it's-
Watch Dogs is definitely going to be in there. It's going to be yeah, there probably going to be some Just Dance stuff in there too, but that isn't even the worst part.
Clayton.
Without looking at the article or anything, guys, guess which country this theme park is going to be
Malaysia.
in. Why did you ruin it for yourself? There's no way that you were ever going to figure that out unless you ruined it for yourself.
Hey, you all mentioned it. I promise I wouldn't spoil what the story
I'm very
was about.
disappointed in you.
I told you I make bad decisions.
I'm still stuck on trying to figure out what the fuck this theme park is going to be. You are not going to get a guess out of me.
It's a theme park that is going to fucking Malaysia. Of all the countries in the world, they thought, yes, Ubisoft theme park, it has to go to Malaysia. Not their home country, not the USA, not Europe, it has to be Malaysia.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
is there
Clayton, I have a
anything in
question.
Malaysia to justify this decision?
I really don't think so.
Malaysia?
Other than the fact that they probably have lower safety standards than the Canada and the USA.
Oh, I cannot wait to see the bugs that are going to be in that place. The roller coaster
Oh.
crash. The roller coaster crashes.
It's like you find out it was a part of the experience the entire time.
I'm a horrible person. I just made fun of the fact that people could die on the first roller coaster right there.
Their QA team is going to be so fucking busy. They've gone from the digital world. They thought they mastered it. So now they're going into the physical realm and they're testing roller coasters.
David, you don't have to worry about that joke. Because all the press reveal is going to be locked to the day after it opens, and at that point they're going to have the day one patch ready.
Oh,
so it's almost
man.
like those people didn't die.
It's like you get in the line.
Dynamite to blow the park up.
You get in the line to buy your ticket on the day one, and you find out that every single register has been shut down because the devs needed to work on a last-minute emergency patch, so that your credit card information is not getting stolen by Chinese people or something.
Oh, dude, that's like the other ride. It's Aiden Pierce's Magical Bankruptcy World.
Oh, and of course you need your Uplay account to get in.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Will, you're
Yeah.
a genius.
First, you're only allowed on one roller coaster, and then if you collect 20 collectibles throughout the park, you can go on the second. And
Now, we announced the 1,700-mile-long supersonic Ezio Extreme Debonair roller coaster 3 years ago, and we did not receive enough pre-orders, so now it's only 800 feet.
Oh, God. Can we fit
if
any
you-
more?
This isn't on us. This is
Oh,
on
wait.
you.
If
This
the
is
opening
your
day
fault that this is
sells-
happening right now.
If the opening day sells enough tickets, we'll release Beyond Good and Evil 2.
They probably forgot they owned that.
Oh, man.
No,
When
but
is
if
that
you,
coming out? They announced it, but then it never fucking showed up.
Sometime between now and the apocalypse.
That's a
But if
really
you-
long period of time. Or
And even
so-
then, they're going to delay it past the apocalypse.
Okay, Will, what were you saying?
If you make a special pre-order, you can get their iconic Ubisoft Land hat.
It's just a normal hat.
No, it's not. It's only one size. It's like a size small, and it's only for your game character.
And if you buy the collector's edition tickets, you can take a bolt out of this roller coaster.
No
Back
wonder it
home.
crashes on
I said,
day
"Oh,
one.
memento."
Everyone's taking bolts out of the damn thing.
It's like, we're just making the bug a little bit more exciting. Jesus.
Yay, death.
Alright, so that happened.
I feel better about Nintendo partnering with Universal to make rides now.
Honestly, I thought they had a good idea. I mean, I would not mind checking out a Nintendo theme park, especially since it's going
I
to be in
would.
Orlando.
Mario Kart. We could do something like Mario themed. A Zelda dungeon. We could do a dungeon from Legend of Zelda. That would
I want a
That'd be
Fire
baller.
Emblem experience where it's just Lucina just saying over and over again that Hope can never die.
Okay, I'm trying to think of more rides for Nintendo. So, Donkey Kong's Barrel Bungle.
That could be a thing.
Yeah,
That
maybe a
could be-
water park.
Yeah,
Could be
a log room ride. A log
You
flume.
see, Nintendo has a lot of fun, creative games that you can make interesting rides out of.
Yes.
Oh God,
Ubisoft,
F-Zero 3D interactive.
Has there
realm.
been a murder theme park yet? Because I'm pretty sure Ubisoft has.
I think that's,
Yeah, all they do is murder stuff.
I think that's Disney you're talking
Or they
about.
make games that make you want to murder stuff.
Seriously, no, dude. Murder theme park. I think you're talking about Disney. Between Cinderella being put this, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Lion King.
Oh, come on. It's aimed at kids, but what has Ezio got? I mean, just stabbing people in the kidneys. That's basically all he freaking
Yeah,
does.
you got Scar throwing Mufasa to his death via stampede.
You don't ever see it.
Gaston being thrown off of a castle. Let's see that.
You don't
priest
see
guy-
his death. You don't see lots of blood. Come on, it's a kid's show.
What the hell did they happen to them dead? Did they magically land on a realm of pixies, pillows, and marshmallows?
It's Disney, so of course they did.
there's a lot of death in Disney.
Yeah, there is.
Disney's darker than the Marvel Universe sometimes, and they own the Marvel Universe.
Oh man, I'm really getting sick of action movies, but that's a story for another day. Did you guys know that like in the last 2 years there's been something like 22,000 superhero movies that have been made?
Oh, that is not 22,000.
22,000.
I'm not sure there's been 22,000
How?
movies made.
I don't know how.
What Where the
but they
fuck
did
are they
it.
getting their numbers from?
They fucking did it.
Japan,
Like,
yeah, I've seen them.
well,
there's
the
a
first time I saw the number, I was watching watching a late night comedian. He was talking about like, holy fuck, and then it was James Corden. He was saying that he wanted a return of rom-coms to movie theaters. He says, I really miss the rom-coms, and he said, and we need to get rid of action movies and like superhero movies, because there have been literally in the last few years 22,000 different titles created.
Okay, so
amazing.
I'm going to stop you there.
Action films, yes, I would believe that number. But there are
It was just superhero, just the superhero genre at all. I mean,
That's
that's a
true
lot of bad
number.
movies.
Even Bollywood
making
can't
that
put that
up.
many out.
He's not. He wouldn't be making that up on national television. That would be a death sentence.
Not even fucking Bollywood could put out that many movies in 10 years on one subject.
I will bet they could.
No.
I mean, back in the
that
70s,
number is fake.
yeah, because they had green screens for everything. And they had Spider-Woman and Superman flying on a green screen talking about romance.
That number's fake as shit.
Well, you could go look it up later. I mean, I had the same reaction
I'm
over
looking
the
up
Destiny
right now.
thing.
There is nothing.
Go watch James Corden last night and then try to figure it out from there.
He's a comedian.
Well, they all got fucking
Why-
researchers.
What are their researchers? Hamsters on keyboards?
No, their researchers are really good at what they do. Crying out loud.
I highly doubt it, because 22,000 is the kind of number you'd expect from hearing on Dragon Ball Z. Oh my god, he's at 22,000! I'm climbing!
That's what we call hyperbole, Clay. In comedy, if you take something
He
and stretch
he
its
was not
size,
being hyperbole. He was not being hyperbole.
He had to be using hyperbole.
I don't think so.
Way. There's absolutely no physical way we have made 22,000 superhero movies.
I think we have.
No way.
I think of all
Even-
I think of all the direct to DVD shit that fails and just like ends up in the bin. I cannot tell you how many different Superman movies I have seen in the last 5 years, and each one was unique, and it was just like WTF.
I'm even counting those. Even counting YouTube fan movies. There's no way we have made 22,000 superhero
Well,
movies.
either way, that was in the news. I thought that was funny.
That was on a comedian. That's not in the news.
It was in the news.
That's on a comedian. That's not in the news.
Oh, whatever, Will. Just shut up. My God. I'm trying to move on with the stories. Nintendo ramps up its marketing. They have now spent 10% on ads from last quarter. So everyone is suspecting that they're going to have something rather big happening in the news. And at this point, it's a lot of money. So let's see. And they said Pikmin 4 apparently is in development and it's almost done. Anyone excited?
Yeah,
for that?
they just like surprised, like, oh, we're doing all this stuff. Oh yeah, Pikmin 4 is almost done. We just wanted to tell you all that. Oh, there's fruit and punch in the back. If everyone's hungry, there's food and punch in the back. Okay.
So
see you all later.
I'm holding
The
my breath
side.
because I remember the Pikmin 3 announcements. If Pikmin 4 comes out now or 4 years from now, it will probably be good. But I'm holding my breath until I see a physical copy of the game on a shelf.
I still think it was
Pikmin
funny
teams
that
are always working on the next one. It makes it sound like they never have a break. They're just stuck in a room and they're like Nintendo's slave.
Please, sir, may I stop programming for an hour? An hour?
There's no way we will get to Mario meets Zelda at this rate.
Yeah, I had a dream last night that Samus was the daughter of Mario and frickin' Peach. So...
What?
I don't know why I had that dream. You're the one mentioning Mario meets Zelda.
I don't know how he has anything to do with your dream, but whatever.
No, I can see the connection. I want what he's smoking.
I don't do drugs. That's the scary thing. This is all natural ADD and OCD up here.
Oh man, that's not great. Also, apparently a company in Pleasant Grove, Utah is working on a virtual reality themed gaming theme park. So that might be a thing that happens.
That'd probably be more like an arcade.
You walk into a large warehouse, they put a goggle and a mask on you, and suddenly it's very sunny and you have a sunburn. In slightly related news, as everyone knows, like starting January, February next year, we are all going to be able to buy virtual reality headsets if we so wish. And Steam did a little bit of a display piece on their headset, the one they partnered up with HTC to work on. And apparently that headset in particular is so good with response time and the decrease of lag that they actually had testers and people like throwing controllers between the two of them while they're wearing the gear, and the controller wasn't dropped. So its hand-eye coordination can be done with this new wave of HTC headsets.
Yeah, well,
That's
I don't
pretty
know.
amazing.
It sounds interesting, but I don't think I'll be able to go these VR sets early, because I've seen the specs for the Oculus, and I wish I had bought a better video card at that point, because I need a 970 just to run the damn thing.
Honestly, I think the HTC is going to be running a little bit better, but in the long run, gaming graphic cards are not ready for headsets. They just aren't.
They aren't.
So
I can agree with
you're not gonna be running at 1080p, but you may be able to do 720 with the 90 frames per second. That could be done on your graphics card.
I've never been huge into the VR thing, so I hear that and I'm like, cool. I wonder how quick it'll make me throw up.
Well, when it gets to that's just it. The HTC one is apparently so good that you can wear it with glasses, and they put in a lot of changes to prevent you from throwing up, which is very
you can
different.
wear this with glasses? Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you can wear it with glasses, which is something you cannot do with the Oculus Rift.
Yeah, 'cause I was so pissed off when I tried the Oculus Rift because I couldn't wear glasses and therefore I couldn't see shit.
Yeah, it's like with the HTC one you can wear glasses, and I think their requirements graphics card wise are actually going to be a little less, if I'm remembering correctly, or they could be more. I think HTC was the better deal overall so far.
I mean,
Now the question
we'll see what comes
is,
out.
and Clayton, you can't get angry about this.
Wait,
'cause
I need to pause real quick. What were you saying, Will? I can only hear David's voice. I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
I was just going to say we're going to have to wait till it comes out.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
now
for sure.
Gotcha. Now, David, what were you saying?
Now, I think there's going to be one deciding factor on what's going to win, the HTC or the Oculus. And this has proven what format is going to rule the world for the next 10 years.
Who gets Disney and porn?
Yes, who gets the porn?
Because
It's how Blu-ray was.
So I can answer that right now. The Sony product is probably not going to work on a PC. The Oculus Rift is probably not going to have enough staying power because of HTC being so amazing and Steam being behind them. So right now, the company that is in the best position for this is going to be Steam. And also the fact that Steam is now apparently allowing porn video games on their storefront means that they have an even more wide of a market.
So like we said, follow the porn. The
Probably.
porn is always the winner.
For those that have no idea what Prinny is talking about, David was talking about, there are when DVD and Blu-ray were both a thing at the exact same time, there was a period of time where people weren't sure whether or not Blu-ray was going to take off because Blu-ray was expensive. And then this was settled about 3 weeks later when porn started adapting to the Blu-ray formats.
And
it was HD DVD versus Blu-ray.
Yes.
And in the 80s, when Beta and VHS were fighting, Beta refused to allow pornography companies to release their stuff on their product, but VHS had no problem. So VHS took over the market. It's funny because porn seems to decide who's going to win each format war.
It does.
It also helped that Blu-ray had like both Disney and porn announced that they were going to support Blu-ray at the same time.
That happened too.
You do realize Disney and porn makes it sound like we're talking about a Disney porn, right?
Aren't we? Or am I the only one that visits that
he
porn?
really wanted to see what happened to Jasmine in that closed room.
Sally and Jack Skellington, we discussed this before the podcast. Thank you.
Boy. All right, next story. So, as everyone on this podcast
We're
is
going to
aware,
hell.
it's very, very difficult to find amiibos out in the wild, except for apparently where I live, because there's too many at my local Walmart.
Seriously, if they have Mega Man, buy it. I'll pay you.
There's a man out in Australia who saw all this happening, and then he saw a tweet go out of someone of like a fellow Australian at a GameStop, and there was 30 of the 57 amiibos just sitting there for you to buy. And it wasn't just one or two of them like in a rare collection. This was on a shelf for sale, and they had multiple copies of the amiibos at every single type. So he decided, how quickly can I buy all of the amiibos in Australia? So he drives to a GameStop, and he manages to grab 22 of them. He drives to a Westfield mall, which is like a very, very high-end, very expensive mall. Orlando has one. I think Tampa has one as well. And at the Westfield mall, he found all the others up to like 52. And then he grabbed a stuffed pig, and he said, unfortunately, I was no longer able to find any other amiibo. I have to end my search at 52 out of the 57 total amiibos. And there's only one person out there that will understand my pain. And then he starts crying into the stuffed pig he just bought while he's carrying away all of his amiibos.
Fuck that guy. Just fuck that guy.
So, what the hell is going on in Australia? Do they just not like amiibos, or did they get themselves overstocked, realizing that the amiibo pandemic was coming?
I would kill for the Mega Man and Shulk amiibo right now.
I saw them on that video.
Again, I think this is just Nintendo's way of saying, sorry you live in Australia.
We're going to give you no production problems at all when it comes to amiibos. You're just getting all of the amiibos. Maybe that's what happened. Australia got all of the amiibos, and that's why there's almost none of them in the fucking USA.
For God's sake, I had at Best Buy yesterday, I had to wait in line at customer service to get an amiibo. They locked them up like they were freaking guns.
Wow.
To be fair, they're probably better controlled than guns are.
That was good. That was good.
Sorry, kid, you can't have this amiibo. Oh, you can have this 12 gauge, yo. Have fun.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna go have sex with my sister, who's also my mother.
Oh, boy, that was bad. That was just bad. I might have to bleep out David right there.
It's not like we haven't.
I regret nothing.
So, there's a new video game in the works. It's going to be AAA, a third person. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be a melee game. Unfortunately, we do not know the name of this title yet. I want you to guess what the developer is. You're not going to get it right.
Cliffy B?
No.
Third person action?
Mm-hmm.
Vanillaware?
No.
Activision?
Nope.
EA?
Ubisoft?
Nope.
THQ?
Okay, we don't know. Tell us.
The answer is Amazon.
Oh, yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
Amazon's making games now. How about that?
They've been working on that for a while.
I know, but they actually got something to say. It wasn't just a wild fantasy. So, yeah.
Eventually had to come to something.
Yeah, so cool, I guess. Amazon's entering the market. I wonder what the price is going to be.
It'll be $29.99 a month and $10.99 a month after that.
Oh, that's bad.
Speaking of fees, you all saw where, like, the EA membership thing went live?
Sure.
You can pay like $5 to play all of EA's best-selling titles.
Yes, I remember the entire system being broken. What happened to that?
I saw the first commercial for it today. I don't know how long it's been live, but that's like
great! They actually have commercials now.
A year.
Yeah. So did it just recently go live?
No, it's been a year. I just said that.
Yeah, it's been a year.
Huh.
What's worse is it's like 20 sports titles and maybe like 3 other games you'd play.
It's like, I love it took them a year for them to finally, like, have commercial that we can see. It's like, alright, so we're gonna release a thing, and then we're gonna stay quiet about it for a few months, and if it doesn't die, then we'll do a commercial.
Well, I mean, that's honestly sort of bad business, because I didn't even know it was a thing. Like, I knew it was going to be a thing, but I didn't realize it was out. Because I heard absolutely nothing.
Honestly, it's a miracle that they've actually decided to justify it with a commercial, or maybe they're in such bad shape that they thought a commercial might save them.
All right, what's on the Access right now? You guys keep talking. I'm going to see what's on there right now.
So, I got another story here. If you want me to just go into it.
Okay, I found the I found the list.
Okay, what's going on?
There are 13 games right now.
Okay.
Battlefield 4.
Mm-hmm.
Madden.
Boring.
FIFA.
Boring.
Fable 2. Need for Speed Rivals.
Sort of boring.
Plants vs. Zombies third-person shooter ripoff.
Boring.
EA Sport, UFC.
Boring.
NBA.
Boring.
Madden.
Boring.
NHL.
Boring.
FIFA.
Boring.
Titanfall. And Dragon Age Inquisition.
Okay.
3 games out of 13 that are good.
Jesus. Okay, so I'm ready for the next story. Heads up, Canadians. Uncharted 4, Thief's End, is a little bit cheaper in the PlayStation Store right now because of a glitch. Apparently, you were supposed to be charged $79.99 for your overly expensive video game. Apparently, the price is now $59.99. It's probably going to be fixed soon. So, yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
So
bug.
buy it now and lock in that price.
Yep. You watch. They end up charging your credit card after the mistake.
Probably.
Let's see. The person who did all the voice work and body work and everything for Quiet actually sang the theme song. They put that on YouTube. That was kind of cool.
That's very cool.
Let's see.
Which one? Sins of the Father or the man who
The
sold
one where she's at the beginning. So, possible new Vanillaware game is going to be released on the PlayStation 4 and the PS Vita, and it is being done by Vanillaware, and we are probably going to learn more at Sega's Tokyo Game Show event.
I can't wait. This year at TGS, they'll probably announce a game that we'll never see for 10 years.
I can't believe Sega is,
So, The Last Guardian.
still publishing...
Never.
Why is Sega acting as publisher for a Vanillaware title? That seems kind of weird.
I don't know.
Oh,
Why
wait,
is-
because they bought Atlas. That's right. Okay.
I have a better question. Why is Sega saying that Alien Isolation is a failure when they're not bitching about how bad Sonic Boom did?
Because Sonic Boom probably made more money.
It didn't.
It didn't. It's the worst selling Sonic game of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's worse than 3D Blast.
It got
and it's worse than
lampooned and the whole 9 yards. So, a Sega's, not Sega, sorry, Square Enix CEO says, quote, "The Final Fantasy VII E3 reaction video was like a wildfire." No shit.
That was,
Wait, what one was that?
That was the one where they're at E3 and they're just like they're monologuing, and then you see Squall pop out and everyone rejoices
Who's
and
Squall?
screaming in the audience.
Who's Squall?
Squall, the blonde-haired
Final
guy with the
Fantasy
large sword from the E3
no,
conference.
that's Cloud. That's
Oh,
Squall.
wait, God, yeah, you're right. Oh, Cloud, sorry, I get those two mixed.
Turn in your nerd badge.
I like Final Fantasy VIII, okay?
How do you confuse Squall with Cloud?
Because
They're-
I changed his name to Squall.
Yes, they both look like Gact, but unfortunately they both don't act like Gact.
Anyway,
Jacked?
yeah, I don't have no idea who that is either. You've lost me on your reference, Perny and David. Let's
There's
just
a
move
joke
on.
saying that Nomura can only design one character, and that is based off the Japanese singer Gact. G-A-C-K-T.
No, I've never heard that joke before.
I'll send you the comic after the show.
Okay. So, let's see. Witcher 3's Heart of Stone expansion is coming out soon. They released some details. Looks like they've added more texture maps to the entire environment, making it even more pretty than it was before. There's going to be more characters. They're promising around 10 hours of content. But the thing is that I'm not seeing an actual price yet anywhere. So I'm not sure when that's going to happen. And if you buy the physical expansion pack Heart of Stone, you will get a physical Gwent card set. So, if you like Gwent, you'll have a collector's item for you.
I don't care. Let's talk about Pokemon.
Okay, let's talk about Pokemon.
Pokemon Go. I think that's all I need to say. Right?
How about you explain what Pokemon Go is for the people listening?
They know what Pokemon Go is. There's,
No.
Everyone out there is already nodding their head like, yes,
No.
yes, we know.
No,
we know
explain
what Pokemon...
it.
In your heart, you know what Pokemon Go is. It's
I
what
Explain
you've
it.
do.
always
I read
wanted.
the press release. I read the press release, and I can't wait.
It's going to be
explain.
an augmented reality game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come with this little physical Pokeball, and it'll be connected to your phone.
Uh-huh.
And you will use it to track down Pokemon in the real world. And then, of course, you can do the whole AR thing where, you point your phone and the Pokemon pops up into the real world. And you
Mhm.
can capture them, trade them, and fight them. Like Pokemon in
See,
the
here's-
real world.
Here's the thing I'm hoping someone's going to do. I'm hoping someone's going to go really physical with this ARG, and they are going to toughen their Pokeball so they can throw it at the Pokemon and not have it wreck the car down the street.
I don't know. I want this so much because it's going to be like the first Pokemon MMO, and It sounds perfect.
Honestly, I'm gonna wait for the reviews.
You don't need any other game release. That's it.
This sounds like I can't wait. I can't.
You watch, Will, because of circumstance, will be in like the middle of Pennsylvania, and you find out that he's basically living in Caterpie Nation, and there's nothing else out there. So he's going to have, like, after a year of practicing with Pokemon Go, he's going to have, like, the most perfect, purebred Caterpie the world has ever fucking seen. It's 4 times larger than normal.
And then it evolves into Mothra.
Not Mothra, Butterfree, you terrorist.
Yeah, but by the time it's done, it's going to be the size of Mothra, so it might as well just be friggin' Mothra.
I'm just imagining a gigantic Butterfree looming over his house.
And I will ride it into battle.
He's like, use Psybeam, and you just see it, like, take off, and it takes down 3 or 4 of the houses next to Will digitally. It's gonna be pretty ridiculous.
I
could point I'll be in New York State, and I could point my phone in the sky, and then I'll just see this gigantic fucking Butterfree coming to battle me. And it loses because it loses to me because I have a Charizard, and also all that ice cold wind in New York State.
Okay, Clay. When you're done writing your fan fiction, let's get back to reality. Where Pokemon Go will be the only game that needs to release next year. Everything else can call it quits. Like, we don't need you. We have Pokemon Go.
You watch and end up getting bad reviews.
I feel like it's come at the right time. I
Hopefully.
think the technology is where it needs to be. All the hardware and software is widespread enough that it will have a large market, and it will automatically let me know who's already playing Pokemon Go, so I don't have to have that awkward conversation. So, do you like Pokemon? No? Okay, I'm gonna go over here.
So, my ARG experience has been the following. One of the kids in my class decided to make an ARG for their final experiment in one course, and it almost nuked their phone. Like, their phone, when you started up the ARG, was over 150 degrees. So that was
bad. There's no way that their inexperience could have caused that.
So that's bad. And then the next experience was with Bravely Default, which was an awful, awful ARG setup. It was basically just little things for the introduction of the game, which was not great. And then there was the 3DS ARG games, which were kind of interesting, but at the exact same time, there were mini games, so there really wasn't a lot to them. I think I still actually got them.
But this is Pokemon, so fuck you.
And now, and then, it gets better. It does get better. Rooster Teeth apparently had an ARG, it was like a murder simulation RTX thing. No, it wasn't 12 Little Rooster. It was inspired by 12 Little Roosters. It was like apparently they set up a murder mystery, and you were using ARG in order to solve the mystery. It was apparently a thing they only have at RTX. And I guess they're going to do it again in Australia because everyone fucking loved it. So hey, there's a positive ARG story that I've heard of. And now the next one that will be ARG related is probably going to be Pokemon Go, because it just isn't very popular. I don't know, maybe it'll be great. I hope it'll be great. I hope it doesn't cost $300.
Well, I can't imagine that it'll be more than like 10 or $20 for, the first installment, and then I'll probably have some free-to-pay stuff. But if they do it right and don't make it so intrusive, Metal Gear Solid 5, it'll be okay.
That was pathetic.
That wasn't pathetic. He's right on. That old the microtransaction shit.
Pathetic.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I'm excited for it. I think it'll be good, but also there's some small part of me that's like, this can't be the next Pokemon game, though. This is just an additional part of the Pokemon universe. There's still going to be another Pokemon game, right?
I don't think so.
There's got.
They haven't announced anything. And I gotta say, like, I'm still playing the Alpha Sapphire and the
Omega.
Omega Ruby or whatever it is, and they're fun, but it feels like this was a misstep compared to like some of the other ones I played. Like XY was just so fucking good that like this feels not great, I guess.
Because it's Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah, which is also a thing in and of itself.
It was just a remake of the Ruby Sapphire games. I thought they did very good updating it. I thought they added a whole bunch of content. No, it's not as good as X and Y, but
Man, I
that's
just
because
didn't
it
like Ruby or
came
Sapphire
from-
to begin with, if I'm completely honest.
Okay, so that's part of your issue. Ruby and Sapphire are actually the games that got me back into Pokemon after I fell out after Gold.
I just had such a harder time with Fire Pokemon in that game, because I felt like there were so few of them, and when I was trying to find them, like, I ended up with, like, a turtle, I ended up with Torkoal, I think is the one I ended up going with, but before I could get that Torkoal, I was so far into the game, story-wise, it was just like, when am I going to find a good Fire Pokemon? WTF.
Yes, but
Isn't there a
minor.
volcano in the game?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't play Sapphire, so I didn't care.
So, I feel like that complaint can be leveled against most of Pokemon games, because most of the time the fire ones you get are late game. X and Y is the only one I can really think of where you can get a fire Pokemon early on if you didn't start with it.
Man, I forget where I usually... Like, okay, so, like, when I say late, I mean super late. Like, I'm about to get the 9th gym... Or the 8th gym badge late.
I don't think it was that late, though.
For me it was. But that was the first time I ever had that problem, because most of the time I'm finding at least one by the 4th gym. I mean, most of the time I find an Eevee, at least. Just make a Flareon.
I think that is purely personal experience.
It just feels like it's happening again.
Well, because it's Ruby
Although
and
I
Sapphire
did,
again.
although I did find, I did find an exception to the rule. One of the, I found, crap. I found I had a Pokemon turn into Mightyena. I forget what they're called beforehand, but when I caught him, you know how like if you find a rare one out in the woods and you can like if you're quiet and you get up to it and you can catch it.
Yes.
Yeah, it had Fire Fang, so that made everything easier.
Does Mightyena naturally learn Fire Fang?
No.
So you had a TM.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you see a Pokemon out in the grass and you sneak up to it and grab it, there is a chance it's going to know moves that are not natural to the species. So that's great.
Well, it's still probably, and it's possible to learn TM list, but yeah, it'll be one of those moves that doesn't learn by leveling.
Does Fire Fang have a TM?
I'm pretty sure all moves have a TM.
They don't. Not every move has a TM.
Pucci-Ina. Pucci-Ina is a Pokemon, and crap, I hate these lists. Because they do it by TM instead of name, so it's... Damn it.
Why don't you just do Control F?
Think of it this way, Will. Have you ever seen a TM for Thundershock? No, you haven't.
Have I?
Dude, if you're just
Nope.
trying to find a move, just do Control F, and it'll bring up a search bar.
Well,
can search
I
by
can't.
name.
I'm surprised you guys don't know this. I mean, there's so many Pokemon moves out there, and you only get a very select few.
I didn't
TM.
really use TMs that much when I was playing through my original games.
That's surprising.
I'd use HMs because those were required. I'd have to
Yeah.
use Surf, Cut, and Fly.
I hate HMs. They're a fun part of the game, and they're a fun part of exploring, but I hate having to sacrifice moves for them.
I know that's always the biggest pain in
And
the
you
ass to me
can't
too.
erase them either.
Because you're forced to basically carry around one Pokemon that is basically your HM Pokemon, and it's just like it's a waste of space. So I say like in the future they just have learnable traits, and those be like Surf or Hidden Move or stuff like that.
So, Pucci-Ina can also learn Fire Fang by breeding.
Aha!
So there are other ways to get him to have Fire Fang.
Yeah, but anyway on the wild all on its own. That normally doesn't happen until this very particular weird version of Sapphire and Ruby.
Well,
So-
I'm also the person that usually starts with the fire Pokemon, so I absolutely have no problem not having it till late game.
I started with the water one this time.
Because you make poor life decisions. I mean,
I
think
did not
about
make
it.
poor life decisions. It's going to be very useful.
You started
later.
with the Mudkip.
Yeah.
I heard you like Mudkips.
More mudkips.
Mud.
I
All
always
the
start
mudkips.
water
Mud.
type.
Kip. Mudkip. Mudkip.
And
Mud,
when I
kip,
run into your
mud,
fire Pokemon,
kip,
I'll hit it
mud,
with
kip.
its mud and ground attacks, and you're going to be ruined. So there you go.
Not as easy as you think.
Anyway, next story. Ubisoft wants to know which games you want for Xbox One backwards capability. How about all of them? All of them. That should be the only answer. Just
If
get your
EA
entire
asks that-
library onto the fucking Xbox One. The end.
I swear, if EA asks that question, I'm going to say anything but your sports games. No one's playing Madden after the next version comes out.
Yeah, I feel like it should just be like, that shouldn't be a question. It should just be like, make them backwards compatible, you asshole.
Yes, that should be the answer.
You do realize they're not going to EA's not going to do backwards compatibility, and they're going to put those backwards compatible games on the Access network.
Oh yeah.
They're going to
Or they're gonna remake them.
Ooh, that's even worse.
Yep.
Anyway, so thousands upon thousands of people believe the next character that should be added to Super Smash Brothers is Britney Spears. That's the story.
Wait, that's real?
That's real.
That's
Sean, Shovel Knight, friggin' Batman makes more sense than that. Britney friggin' Spears? What is she gonna do? Hit them with a damn umbrella? Shave her head?
Another equally random story. Apparently there's a lot of weddings happening this summer. Another couple decided to get married in Final Fantasy style, so that's a thing that happened. No cardboard boxes this time, so I'm a little upset.
New theme weddings. Are you about to propose? Just be upfront with me. I don't need to be surprised.
I remember, reading a magazine 15 years ago about someone who did a Gundam-themed wedding at a convention.
There's always been themed weddings, and it's just, as a person who does not personally believe in marriage, I'm just like, I don't care.
So, the price for Mirror's Edge's Collector's Edition has been released, and if you want to buy it in the USA, you will be spending $200. If you buy it from Game, you'll be spending $159.99, and if you and if you buy it from other places, you'll probably be spending somewhere around $160. So, depending on where you are and who you go to, your price of Mirror's Edge Collector's Edition could be very, very different.
We're talking Mirror's Edge 2, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't buy a collector's edition unless it's actually worth it to me, so I don't care about this.
And also, it's like, oh, okay, not every single store is going to have the same exact price, so it immediately assumes which store you're going to go to.
So, this frustrates me with how much I just don't care.
Yep.
Because this is a problem, it's an ongoing issue of, this store's getting this version, and you have to go to here to get this, and it's just...
It's like, if you want yourself to be even more financially screwed, then you have to go to Best Buy.
Yeah, it's just...
Well, actually, most of the Gamers Club is $30 now, so it's easier to actually,
Yeah, I don't pay that crap. I don't pay Best Buy extra money for the hopeful chance of getting a better deal later. That's just dumb.
It's part of pre-order culture that, many of us are fed up with super hard.
Yes.
I save $12 on new releases every single time, so...
Well, I mean,
Good for you.
That's a different thing.
Fine, whatever.
The whole collector's thing is part of this pre-order culture.
Oh yeah, I know,
the
collector's edition.
Honestly, at the end of the day, there's always going to be a better deal out there. There will always be a better deal out there if you just wait. So honestly, the whole culture of, pay us more money now so you get a discount maybe in the future for something that you might want is just bad.
That's something different. I want to focus on pre-order.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on physical pre-orders, though?
So, I gave on pre-orders a long time ago, and it bothers me how much I don't care. Because I'm at that point in my life where I just want the game. And there would have been a point where I would have been super hyped for collector's editions, especially Mirror's Edge. I'm like, oh cool, it's going to come with all this cool stuff. But there's going to be different versions, it's come with different things, and I don't care. I just want the game. I don't even know if it's going to be good, so is the collector's edition going to be worth it?
I say that if you're going to do a pre-order system, you reward the players. There should be a physical version of the game, and it should be cheaper than normal.
It's one of those things where collector's editions can be cool, but you have to sort of earn it. Because, Halo came out, and they didn't really do the collector's edition until Halo 3.
Yeah.
And because that was the end of a trilogy. It was well established. That was cool. But then, everyone started doing collector's editions for new IPs. Watch Dogs had different versions of collector's editions.
Yeah, I know. The five different versions.
Bullshit.
5 different versions for one store. They actually had to be around 16 total.
And EA had the Kingdoms of Amalur Collector's Edition, which is like $200.
And that game bombed so hard.
And then,
In particular, because of how fucked up they confused everybody with their pre-order bonuses.
And then, of course, Duke Nukem had a pre-order collector's edition, and it was crap.
Everyone has had a collector's edition.
It's like they're trying to make more money off the collector's editions now than they are the actual games. But
Yes.
the problem is, those collector's editions, you never know if the game's going to be good or not now.
That's why I say they need to make it cheaper. Like what happened with Amazon and those books I was interested in buying. They were not out yet. I'd have to wait a few more days for them to be released. So it was a pre-order, and it was half off.
I know. I did that with the Hyrule Historia. I was able to get it before launch for $20.
Yeah, they need to start doing that with games.
That's decent. It's one of those things where I should be riled up.
And
I should be foaming at the mouth, but I'm just so used to it, I just don't care, which is like deeply problematic.
It's like all I know is that it's that right now I think Green Man Gaming is probably going to change how the market is handling that kind of thing, because once again new games are coming out. They release a promo code out there and they're like, you can buy blah 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 for $45, which is what happened with Fallout 4. That's pretty huge.
That's another thing. My brother pre-ordered the Pip-Boy edition.
Fallout 4
Worst part,
is
he's not even going to use the damn thing because he doesn't even have a smartphone.
It doesn't even come with a... Oh, God, thank you for reminding me. Did you hear about what happened with Bethesda and Fallout 4?
No.
They have announced a season pass, but they don't know what's going to be on the season pass.
Again, another
and you
thing
can
that...
pay them $30 right now.
Again, that's another thing I should be foaming at the mouth about, but it's just so prevalent I can't.
I know, but did you hear that sentence? They don't know what's going to be in the season pass yet, but they're taking your money already for it.
And that's just hardly the first time.
What sucks
Oh, come on. We usually know plenty of information before we all go buy the season passes.
What sucks even worse is, they're probably not going to include it with that damn Pip-Boy edition.
No, they're not.
Oh,
so my brother's basically paying an extra $50 for a chunk of plastic he doesn't even have a smartphone to use it for.
Yeah.
God's sakes. I know I'm buying Yokai Watch, but at least I know I'm getting a game.
And Fallout 4 is probably one of those games that can justify a special edition. I will say that.
Yeah, it can, but it's $120.
It has the legacy. But
for a chunk of friggin' plastic. I'd understand it more if there was like electronics in it that made it work better, or it actually had a screen on it. But no, you can't even use a widescreen phone for it. You have to use a normal sized, smartphone. You can't use a big one.
And quote-unquote normal-sized smartphones is changing drastically.
Yeah, you'd have to use if you have an iPhone, it'd have to be like a 5 or a 5S. You couldn't use a 6 or 6 Plus. For the Samsung Galaxies, you're probably going to have to use something like S5 and below.
Yeah, they'll have a way of modifying it so that, like with a data cable or something.
No, to put it in the damn thing.
Yeah, someone will always find a way. They'll give you detailed instructions on what you got to do. They'll find a way.
And the thing is, I don't even think we're close to a tipping point. I think this is going to continue on for much longer and get much grosser before we get anywhere near the point that's like, yeah, this needs to stop.
Yep.
So, moving on.
Square Enix Europe CEO says that gamers do not want unfinished content, and he promises to deliver a polished Hitman. So the Hitman franchise is now taking the digital route in its upcoming installment of quote-unquote Hitman, which made people worry of how Square Enix and IO Interactive will handle it. And they're basically just trying to reassure everyone that the next Hitman game they release is going to be great.
It's funny because I played Hitman Go last year, the iOS version.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't terrible. It was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
got some awards.
We tried it on iPad. They hooked the iPad up to a big screen. I mostly just watched the iPad. The amount of creativity you had to use for sniping was amazing. Like, I snipe a window to drag a guy over, and then I snipe him, and he falls into a pool, but he takes out another guy below when he's bending over to check out what the sound is.
Here's a little bit more to the quote here, too. Let's see. So, we're being very clear. This is going to be a AAA polished Hitman, as you'd expect.
That's the word that scares me.
But we can continue to create experiences so the world only expands. We are experimenting.
So, I'm okay with that quote, and I think it's good. I think it's bad that we need that quote. Gamers want polished, finished content. No fucking shit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this is Square Enix, who I feel sort of already understands that point. They don't need to tell us they understand that.
Yeah,
Ubisoft does.
If you look at 13 and how long it took them to release that game, and the fact that it was in the state it was, you might be able to see where they're coming from, where they might need to state that, because like Square Enix has had rocky territory when it comes to releasing games that were polished and felt complete. Like, as we said before, 13's story, absolute garbage, but their fighting system was on an entirely different level. So it was like, how did that become a great thing, but the game itself was bad? So, do you understand a little bit, like, why someone might feel the need to say it?
I do, but with that, I just feel like, sometimes, games are going to suck one way or the other sometimes. Yeah. That's just how it's going to be. This is not Ubisoft, who continually release buggy, unfinished games.
True.
This isn't, Warner Brothers releasing Arkham Knight.
True. I think Square Enix has learned its lesson as well. I really do think 15 is actually going to be great.
Not to mention what I told you earlier about Dragon Quest Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like they're one of those companies that generally doesn't bother me about that sort of thing, but they sort of have to say it because of the whole game industry right now.
Yeah.
And they don't always have great titles, but at least I feel like most of them come out fairly polished and finished.
Yeah, they work. I think we just say that. They work.
Yeah.
So, neither of you can get mad at me, but I have a Rocket League story. So, Rocket League patch 1.05 is being rolled out on all formats. They are adding Find New Match to the options when you're trying to do rank play, which is fantastic. Before, you'd have to exit out of your match and then restart a new match. But if you hit Find New Match, it just does it for you automatically. Season 1 has officially begun on all the leaderboards have gone through a reset, and I just recently bronzed on 2 versus 2 play. Yay! Woo! The Solo Standard 3 versus 3 ranked playlist has been re-added. Season rankings are now based on rank points. And there's a bunch of other stuff out there. They added some little UI adjustments. They tell you what music you're listening to at the starting menu, since the music changes all the time. And the ranks so far that have been discovered is unranked, bronze 1, 2, 3, silver 1, 2, 3, and gold 1, 2, 3, and then there's platinum, which is the top 100 players. And yeah, that's it. Season 1 will be lasting for a few months, and yeah, have fun, everybody. And I am still in my tournament, and I'm still out for Jeff Grubb's blood. The end.
Life is Strange is going to be releasing in Japan finally.
I thought they did an all-country release already.
I guess they didn't do a Japan version.
Oh.
Or they just didn't translate it or something.
Man, that game's gonna sell well over there.
Oh yeah. Well, I think because part of it is, it's one of those things where oh, Japan's not gonna be interested in this game, so just release it everywhere else. Everywhere else loves it, and then Japan was like, we want that game, which usually works the other way around. Japan gets it, everyone else wants it. So that's happening. And you should watch the commercial. It is to me, it's hilarious just hearing them speak in those Japanese voices, it's like that. Yep, that's sure Life is Strange. Yeah.
Okay, next story. I guess that the Fallout 4 price got messed up on UK and US websites. Let's see. What the heck? Okay, so Fallout 4 is hogging all the news here today with a new trailer and a great new article. And there's a great new price for the UK and the USA price for people out there. And you could get Fallout 4 for $24.69, and that's in Europe, and $38 for the USA. And that is from cdkeys.com.
Oh, I've purchased from them when I was younger.
Are they any good?
Yeah, I bought a Russian key for Black Ops because I was desperate to try it. The game's in Russian. They had information on how to patch it into English, but no one's updated the patch since then. But they're a legit site. You have to just make sure to make sure it's not a Russian key, or else you will be trying to learn Russian.
Which apparently Matthias knows, because he's a wizard.
Where is Matthias? I haven't heard him.
What?
Oh, there he
Why
is.
am I a wizard?
Yeah, why does he know Russian?
I
This
don't
is new
know.
to me.
He made a tweet the other day that he could understand some Russian.
What?
No. I was talking about in Metal Gear when they're speaking Afrikaans.
Oh, you heard certain words a bunch of times, so you started figuring out what they meant?
No. Because of all the colonization and stuff, a lot of Dutch people went to South Africa.
Yeah.
And the Afrikaans they speak there, it looks a whole lot like Dutch. And in Metal Gear Solid, you need to find a translator before you can actually understand what the other languages the enemies are speaking and what they're actually saying. Then you get the subtitles. But I could actually understand most of what they were saying without a translator because I just
Because you're a
couldn't
wizard.
understand
You know
them.
what bugs me, though, is that your map wouldn't update, even if you knew what they were saying. So it's like you have to go get the translator in order to get the map updates, and I thought that was BS.
Well, Matthias is a wizard, and I'm sure he knows Russian too, don't deny it. But also that makes sense because you're doing it from your character's perspective. So while you as the player might understand, your character doesn't.
And
See what I'm
somehow
saying?
boss, and also a big boss apparently somehow has forgotten Russian in the course of.
Well, isn't
in
this
the
a prequel?
Well, it's not really. It's
Yeah.
well,
I don't.
so he knew Russian on the PSP game. He knew it, and now this is the sequel on the PS4 game, and he doesn't know Russian anymore. That is nonsense.
I thought this was
You
like the
know
earliest
Russian
point in
in
the time.
Peace Walker?
Yeah, he does.
I can't remember that.
Well, they even said it in one of the scenes. You've forgotten Russian, boss? Okay, well, we're gonna have to go find a translator. He knew Russian. He did. He's an international man of espionage. Of course he knows Russian.
Well, this game takes about 9 years later. So
He somehow forgot all of his Russian.
well, he was in a coma for 9 years.
He forgot
Yeah,
all
that
of
would
his
do it.
Russian.
And he has metal shit in his brains and all over his body from
Well,
the
there's
explosion.
another reason why he doesn't know the Russian, but let's just go with he doesn't know Russian somehow now.
It's not that hard. If it's not your native language, you can forget stuff pretty easily.
I don't want to spoil it, but there's something late in the game. Let's just avoid.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. So yeah, that's the thing that happened. If you haven't bought Fallout 4 yet, you can get it cheap. I really, really hope the game is as great as it looks. Oh, also they promised it's going to be 4 times longer than Skyrim and the last Fallout combined.
So it's gonna be the life cycle of
Well, you
100
better
years
get
old.
ready to say goodbye to your life, because it's pretty much all going to be in Fallout 4 for the next year.
Okay.
Well,
so
my brother's
one,
the one who wants it the most, not me.
So one, I don't like Fallout that much.
Really?
Two,
I tried it.
when I
I'm
heard
not
that,
a-
I heard it was larger, not longer, which honestly is not hard.
It's longer than Skyrim in terms of size, and the storyline is
Well, I would-
Okay, so the world is larger, yes, and the storyline is also apparently 4 times longer than Skyrim and the last Fallout game combined.
So for those of you who don't know, the Skyrim map is super small, actually.
Yeah, it's small.
If you look at it on a grand scale, it just feels big because there's so much up and down. But in actual land space, it is one of the smallest maps out there, especially for an open world.
How big is it actually?
I think,
It's a few miles.
yeah, I think it's only like 3.5 miles, which
Yeah.
is one of those things where Bethesda forbade their employees from talking about how small the map actually was.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to talk about size because it was so small.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel so small though.
Oh, no, it doesn't. They did a good job of making it feel big, but in actuality, it is small.
I think it's
So
because of how
does-
slow your character is actually moving in that game.
That too. So it's one of those things where, saying it's larger than the Skyrim map is not very hard.
Well, I wasn't talking about the map. You were talking about the map. I was talking
Right,
about the
'cause-
storyline. The storyline they are promising is going to be 4 times larger longer. Sorry, wrong word again. Than the last Fallout game and Skyrim's game story put together.
Right. I heard something like 400 hours. But
Probably.
I brought that up because, anytime I've heard discussion on it, it has been about size, not necessarily story length. I have heard it's probably going to be about 400 hours to do everything.
Yeah. I heard 1,000 somewhere, but I forget what they were measuring.
And it's like, I might play a little, but Fallout never really captivated me that much. I think games...
I think the modding system and the house building system is probably going to be your jam. If it's good.
Part of it is setting. Just like their setting gets real old to me real fast. It's not like Skyrim or Morrowind or Oblivion where it's like, I like the world and I have fun exploring it. Fallout, it's like I get bored in like 10 minutes and I'm like,
you're obsessed. You don't like technology games. I'm learning that pretty quickly. You want Uber fantasy when it comes to your exploration kick.
I don't know what I want from a video game, honestly. My taste changes all the time.
I want story. That's always been the focus.
For me, it's like this. RPG, I want a story. From a shooter, I want to have fun. From Mario, I don't need anything because it is friggin' Mario.
So, games have so many different parts. It's like, sometimes all you need is a story. Sometimes all you need is the gameplay. But vice versa, it can have good gameplay, but the story can completely kill it, i.e. Final Fantasy for me. Or it can have a great story.
For me, 13 killed all the topics.
Or, it can have or it can have a great story, but the gameplay can just kill it.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those balancing acts where, like, one of my favorite games, Life is Strange, is pretty much all story. There isn't a huge amount of gameplay. It has gameplay, and it does it well, but it's more focused on the story. So, it changes. A good game is a good game, however you measure it. That was my...
Was there any other stories that we had to cover?
I'm checking,
More Final Fantasy 15 screenshots released. Nah, it's not really news. Yeah, I think that might be it for the podcast this week. Or at least for the news section.
Super Meat Boy will be arriving on PS4 and Vita next month.
Meh.
I can't wait. I've never tried it yet.
There's a bug in Metal Gear Solid 5 that can erase your save file.
Shit, I forgot about that. If you take Quiet on 2 different missions,
Mission 29 and 40. I saw a new message today that comes immediately after the message of you better not take Quiet during the missions, and it basically said, hey, you could still take Quiet, but A, you gotta take the butterfly emblem, and B, you gotta make sure you don't max level your bond with her during those missions. As long as you do those things, your bond. The more you use them on missions, you increase your bond, and the bigger your bond is, you can get them to do more stuff and get them better gear.
This is great. This is like, okay, it's still broken, but if you do this while biting your tongue and wiggling your big toe, it might work.
Basically.
Yeah, we still can't talk about it, but I just hate Metal Gear so much right now.
Yes, let the butt hurt flow through you.
It's unfinished. It's completely unfinished. It is a bad, bad thing.
So, Clay has been dying to do a spoiler cast. We have various members, and I'm sure some of you out there are still working through it and don't want it spoiled. However, sometime soon, a small group of us who don't care about having the game spoiled or have completed the game are going to sit down and let Clay rant, and we're all going to talk about it. So keep an eye out for that in the future. And that's basically it. Clay will eventually get to rant. Just not today. Not today.
God damn it. God fucking damn it. Alright, so I think that's it for the regular stuff. So what have I done this week? Rocket League.
Nothing.
More Rocket League. I played some Minecraft with Will. I fell down a whole bunch of times. Matthias was our animancer. He didn't save me from the hole. Still reading books and still working on my game thing. Will, what have you been doing?
It's
Oh
been
yeah,
somewhat-
Stephen Colbert is back. He's funny.
It's been a somewhat quiet week. I haven't made the official announcement video, but I'm taking a short break to revamp some of my content on my personal channel. So there's probably going to be another week of silence there, and then come back with some fresh new stuff. Otherwise, I've been working on stuff for the Hulk Game Crit channel, our channel here. Yes, we played Minecraft, and the old gods decided to test me. It was horrific and emotionally scarring.
Let's just say I've never seen a man so full of, like, vinegar in my entire life.
So that
I
happened.
told you to return home, but did you listen? No.
I was working on it.
You were not working on it. Anyway, that's for the video. Keep going.
Otherwise, what have I done this week? Fucking hell. I played some Rome Total War 2, which is just one of those games I like very much.
Yeah.
Athens is halfway to conquering the world, so get ready for that. Or don't, you know. That didn't actually happen, so not like I'm rewriting history. Yeah, other than that, I did my various project thingies.
Yep. Matthias, what'd you do?
Let's see. I graduated. I played a whole lot of Metal Gear, and I'm looking for a job. That's basically it.
Don't they give you a job in your weird country?
Well,
They'll give me a job.
They'll give you a job.
so just remember when you're writing your resume to include you are a wizard on it. That's huge bonus points.
And remember, if you're
And
applying
I
to
will,
a video
hey
game
Matthias, if you need a reference, dude, I'll totally fucking give you it.
and remember, if you're applying to a video game company, tell them that give them only half your resume and tell them the rest is DLC.
Well, the only studio they have here is what they call Larian, the ones that make Divine Divinity and stuff.
Yeah,
But they're pretty far away.
they are really far away. Then again, they're not that far away. Your country is tiny.
It's
Yeah,
like,
but
okay,
for me, they're
I'm
far
going-
away.
Will,
I'm
Will,
sorry.
you're not gonna believe this. Matthias drove from one end of the country to the other, pretty much to the other side of his country to go to a beach, right?
It's like half the country, yeah.
Yeah, half the country. He was complaining because the trip was an hour and a half.
That's nothing. That's like a third of my drive down to Baltimore.
I mean, crying out loud, how long do I have to drive in order to go from your house to Florida? Something like 16 hours straight?
Oh, it's got to be something like that.
Yeah, it has to be.
I drive
I think
16 hours straight. I can go to like 30 countries.
Yeah, we know.
I know.
That's where like the distance there does
Honestly,
not
I don't
equate
think
to
those are
distance
countries. I really think those are states.
Here. They're countries. They're just
Yeah, you're
measured
right.
differently.
You're right.
No, like when I go down to Baltimore and DC for a rave, that's a 3 to 4 hour drive, one way.
You're crazy.
One way over another.
He's gonna dance. He's gonna dance one way.
Gotta get my shuffle on.
Electric shuffle.
Well, actually, I do what's called the UK shuffle or cutting shapes.
Not the Melbourne Shuffle?
The Melbourne shuffle is different. I can probably do it, but there's one of those weird foot replacement forward back things they do that I haven't quite mastered yet.
Also, the fact that your foot is like not great. I don't think you should be trying that one.
It's great. Just know, I did break my foot like a year ago, and occasionally weather will give me problems.
A
but I can
fat
still
man
dance
landed
on
on
it.
him.
Yeah.
A fat man that has no right dancing.
Everyone has a right to
I'm
dance, but he
still
was.
dancing better than I ever did.
Everyone has a right to dance, but he was sort of like a drunk asshole, and was. Because watching me, some people think they can do what I do, and it's like, no, it needs practice. So he was trying to, insult me and show off, and was trying to do what I did, and of course he tripped, fell onto me, and I landed in such a way that I broke my foot.
I'm surprised you didn't have him pay the medical bills on that one.
Well, I didn't realize it was broken till like the morning after.
Did you sue him?
No, I didn't get any from it. Because I was like, oh, my foot hurts, but, like, that wasn't completely unusual. So I was just like, oh, walk it off. Woke up the next morning. It was like, my foot still really hurts. Tried to get through the day, wasn't working, so I went to patients first. And they're like, yeah, your foot's broken. How did you get here? I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's nothing. I broke my
Advanced.
leg once and I didn't notice it for 3 weeks.
Ow.
Yeah, I didn't really notice it until I realized I couldn't run in gym anymore.
You know, my cousin's not on this podcast, so I could probably tell this story. So, when I was like, this is the only time I've ever seen someone actually break a bone, and I was laughing so hard at the time. It was probably pretty bad. We were at my best friend at the time's house, and we were snowboarding, and he went down the hill. He was going really fast. He was being a bit stupid, and he hit something. It was a frozen piece of dog poo, and he hit it. Change of surfaces. He goes flying. He lands right on his butt, and you hear him hit the ground, which didn't sound great, sounded like a crunk sound. And then
Did he break his butt?
he broke his tailbone. He totally broke his tailbone. So he's sitting there for 10 minutes, and he was like 12 at the time, and he's just saying, "I broke my tailbone over and over." And then he's walking like an old man down an icy hill. He falls 3 more times right on his butt again.
That sucks.
And then when he gets home, his brothers and sisters are not taking it well. So they end up pushing him onto a couch.
Oh.
And I'm just in the corner, just laughing
That had
so
to hurt.
hard the entire time.
Oh.
Oh, I love my cousin, but he
since-
can be a bit of a brat sometimes. And I
Well,
was just like, that was justly rewarded.
Well, since we're talking about embarrassing stories involving ice, I fell into a frozen lake once.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's bad.
I was like 6 when it.
Oh, God.
We went to this. There's a farm in Cheshire, Connecticut. My family and I used to go to all the time because it's such a nice place. In the back of the farm is a forest area, and in the forest area there's a little dam. It's like the stones walkway and everything. Anyway, it was frozen, and we were just skating around on it, and I'm a fucking idiot. And I jump on the frozen lake,
Oh, God.
and I just go into the water.
He went for a plie, and it did not end. It did not
His
Just
end.
do the triple axel straight down through
And
the
here
ice.
goes David with the triple sow cow! Oh, and he's through the ice! Fuck, he did not land it. He does not get the goal.
And that's not even the most embarrassing injury I've ever had. Anyway, I mentioned the broken leg thing. I broke the leg skating down our driveway. Our driveway was a hill.
Like
Yeah.
roller skating?
No,
Or
skateboard. I
Okay.
lied flat on the skateboard. My leg must have
Oh,
caught the concrete, and so it bent. But I was waiting for the school bus anyway, so I just walked it off. And 3 weeks later, it hurts to walk, and so I have to go get a cast put on it. But there I am a month later, walking around trick-or-treating with a huge cast on my leg.
Ow.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I never really had a really, really nasty accident on a bike. Only my neighbors have. They've all had, like, supposedly, like, broken bones and whatnot, but this one girl, oh, poor girl, she tripped her bike, and she went flying forward, and her face went right into asphalt, and she grinded for about 30 feet.
Yep,
Yeah.
I've seen that happen. That sucks.
It really does
Oh.
suck. She
No,
was not walking around or anything for a while after that one. I don't think I saw her for like 2 or 3 weeks after the
Yeah,
initial
no.
incident.
I'm pretty sure I have stress fractured my foot at least once a month and all of my knuckles at some point.
Yeah, maybe you should stop doing whatever it is you're doing that's messing up your feet, because holy crap, arthritis, man, you're gonna have it.
Stress fractures aren't actually that bad. They just sort of happen when you do things a lot, like when you're dancing and you're you keep stomping the floor.
I know, but each
That will
time you
stress
hurt
fracture your
yourself, you're
finger.
supposed to wait for it to heal, and if you keep stress fracturing it over and over again, it turns bad.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm still alive, so...
I don't know, I have to be careful with my knuckles right now. I've been working so much that they actually started hurting. Like, right around all the knuckles just started, like, they're not swelling, but they feel like they're gonna. And then I literally have to stop.
That's like carpal tunnel, I think.
Oh, it could be carpal tunnel one day. That's a possibility. But that's mostly in your wrist, not on your knuckles.
Yeah, I used to do, like, MMA type stuff, which I want to get back into, but because of that, none of my fingers are the same length.
Oh, that has to suck.
I don't notice it, but I do also have mild carpal tunnel. That is the thing that really sucks.
I like when we were talking about our week, and now we're talking about injuries we've had over our lifetime.
That's what
the
happens.
cool stories.
That's what happens on the podcast. Do we have anything else to cover, or are we just done?
I don't think David went. Did David
No,
go?
I didn't go.
Oh, okay, David, go. What did you do?
This week I've actually been finally getting into streaming and recording.
Yay.
Bioshock I did on Monday night. I had so many issues because everything kept interrupting the damn thing. Like, the dogs interrupted it, family interrupted it. Wednesday night, it was a lot better. I streamed with my friend Todd. We did Final Fantasy XIV. I thought at the beginning it looked bad, but as I went on, it got a lot better. And he actually reined in a lot of what I really hate about him sometimes. Like, he'll do something stupid, he'll act stupid, or something like that. And the last 2 nights, I've been recording Bioshock footage for Let's Plays I'm just going to put on the channel, on my channel. Like, last night I recorded, like, a third of the Neptune's Bounty episode before I finally realized that I was too damn tired to continue. And, of course, this morning I had to wait for that damn iPhone, so... Yeah, fuck Apple for deciding to put their pre-orders at midnight on the West Coast and 3 a.m. on the fucking East Coast.
Oh, they also just announced...
Really?
They just announced a study, by the way. They have found out that Android now controls 86% of the market share for cell phones.
Uh-huh.
So iOS is well on its way out.
I'm hoping to God it is, because I cannot stand waiting up for these fucking launch... No, my aunt wants the phone, yet she won't stay up for the launch. How the Could they put this stuff at noon on a weekday? Why so friggin' late at night?
Well, they can't do it at noon on a weekday.
Did they get off on just people falling in front of their keyboards?
Oh, they think it builds hype. They think, we gotta do a midnight release.
No, it builds my rage encounter and makes it so I can't get a good night's sleep the next day.
They should just do what they did for the Pokemon. The store opens an hour early. Because they don't do midnight releases for Pokemon, because most people that play it are supposed to be kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, how is it that Nintendo rarely does a midnight launch? Like, they even said that Mario Maker, they're going to be doing a morning launch for the mornings. They'd rather not do a midnight. Yet, here's Apple, a company that makes billions every year, saying, you know what? Let's make everyone wait until it's so friggin' early in the morning.
Well, that's just Apple in a nutshell, isn't it? I mean, most of the time, they are actually very, very far behind everybody else. They are a bit archaic.
I still can't believe that they did. It had to be midnight on the West Coast and 3 a.m. on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Instead of just doing it midnight in your time zone.
I know, they're just shitty.
And the worst part is, I know the damn thing isn't going to get here until October, too. So, that's like another 2 weeks my aunt's going to wait after it ships.
It's so fucking dumb. It really is.
So we understand your rage.
Yes. So, let's do the ending of the podcast. Let's say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.